What's going on, my beautiful people? This is the ninth time of me trying to film this first episode of my podcast. The ninth time. Like, I haven't been consistent in a while, and when you try to bring back consistency, when you try to meet goals, the world tries to smack you in the mouth. Don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Batteries were dying, SD cards were catching on fire, cops were coming to the door, the kids are calling me for food. I'm still going, baby. Welcome to episode 1 of my podcast. That was the title of the podcast right there. At this time of recording, I'm not too sure between two names, but it took me a while to choose that. So welcome to... So I started this podcast for 3 main reasons: to engage in conversations, culture, and comedy. Especially comedy. I love comedy. I just want this to complement everything else that I'm doing. That's really about it. So thank you to all my loyal followers over the years for tuning into the podcast, and welcome to all the new followers. I really appreciate you coming on this journey with us. Look forward to connecting with you. So I know some of you know me as Papa Jean, Papa J, or the Haitian Innovation. But my name is Jean Lodescar Jr. Jean's French, for those who don't know. And the thing about having that name on paper, it's written Jean. So for job interviews, they're always expecting a white female. And then when I show up, they're like, sorry, the position has been filled. I'm like, when? They're like, just now. Just now. I find it so funny how fast people can go from, we look forward to meeting you, to, we need security on the second floor. Security on the second floor. Black man with a white lady's name is expressing his feelings. But I have a love-hate relationship with the name, but that's for another episode all by itself, Hold on, let me pop open my iPad real quick. I just have a couple things to say. I don't want to be too long on episode 1. This is my home studio, by the way. Well, I'll probably just be having conversations with myself. So yeah, I actually been off social media since December 24th, 2024. Because sometimes you just need a cleanse, Like, there's so much information and misinformation on there. It's like it oversaturates your brain. Somebody's always trying to sell something or say something or twerk or sniff something, and I'm guilty of it too. Well, everything but the sniffing part. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, so I feel like you got to cleanse sometimes, because believe it or not, like, a byproduct of social media is disconnecting. Like, you disconnect with humanity. Everything is just virtual. I feel like with these podcasts, it's a way for me to connect with people. And, although it's a form of social media, I believe with you guys engaging in these conversations yourselves, it could inspire you to reconnect on your end. I am from New York City. I'm an actor, writer, comedian, playwright, filmmaker, all the good stuff. Basically, I'm a starving artist. Yeah, I'm a creator. I've been a creator all my life, since I came out the womb. And my parents didn't like that. You know how foreign parents are, how immigrant parents are, Haitians being the worst. What is it they want you to be? So that's just been my calling in life, Will I make millions? Yes. Yes, I will. But the goal really is just expressing myself to connect with people. Really, that's all it's really been, And when somebody comes up to you and be like, yo, that video you did the other day? Or I saw that play you did the other day? Or I read those lines you wrote the other day? It moved me. It made me laugh. I cried. So that's definitely, I think that's what makes it a calling, Born and raised in New York City all my life. I'm a family man. 1,000% of my life, family man. And I just like to be an atmosphere of positivity. That's all. I don't ask for much in life, but that's my life. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've been writing a lot of material. So this is why I'm also doing the podcast because I'll be getting on stage a lot more often, and I know I'll be meeting a lot of you out there. So, I'm polishing my stuff for the stage, my material for the stage. I'm used to doing shows every year, and I haven't done one since 2020. So it hurts me, and sometimes at night I cry. So, episode one of my podcast is actually sponsored by a company called Kufandi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, guys. So they actually made this blazer that I'm wearing. I got a bunch of blazers from them, and you know, I believe they first reached out to me. I did a Toussaint Louverture montage, and I got a whole setup from them. And I told them when I do my podcast, we could work something out in collaboration. So this is the blazer. It's brick pink. That's the color. I love the way their blazers fit. I gained a little weight, so it doesn't fit me the way I want to, But obviously, they have other sizes, so you can get your size. But it's really good material, and it's not expensive at all. And like I love their products, So there should be a link here. If you're interested, you could click on here. I believe I get a tiny commission from them, not much, but support a brother. Story time. The time when my mom punched the bejesus out of me at the pizzeria. So I went to Catholic school most of my life, right? And in elementary school, when you would take a test, you would have to bring it home, get it signed, and then bring it back to school, right? So there was this science class that I was struggling in, and I remember the night before the test, my mother's like, Did you study? Did you study? I'm like, yeah, I studied, knowing I did not study. I went to school and I failed that test, right? When the teacher gave it back, I was like, yo, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to bring this home to get signed? I know they're going to take my life, right? I was scared. So I bring the test home and I start to tell my mother, and I see the rage, so I don't tell her. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I traced her signature from like a check. I think it was like an old check she had in her house, and I signed this thing myself, right? I sign it myself and I bring it back to school, and I'm like, yo, it's all good. I'm a Don. I'm a G. I just did this thing. Lo and behold, this teacher calls my mother. I guess she was suspicious about it, She calls my mother and she tells my mother. So my mom came to pick me up from school, which threw up half a red flag. Because in my mind, I'm like, why is she picking me up today? But, she would come every now and then. So my spidey senses weren't tingling too much. She comes and, she's talking to me and she's a little nice. And I'm getting a little worried, like, what's going on? This test that I signed is in the back of my mind now. You know what I mean? We hop on the bus, the B35. I lived in Brooklyn at the time, coming down Church Avenue, B35. We got off at East 18th Street. I live on East 17th. East 18th? Yeah, we got off at East 18th Street. And my mom offered me pizza. Now, a Haitian household, a lot of foreign households are like this, a lot of immigrant households, they never want to buy you food outside. It's like, you got to eat what we have at home. So my mother offered me pizza. My spidey senses were going crazy. I'm like, yo, something is wrong, and I don't know what it is. That test was still not in my mind that I signed, because I just thought I was a boss. And I think really it's because the teacher was so nonchalant about it all day. I wasn't expecting anything. So boom, we get in the pizzeria, and this is after school time, 3, 4 o'clock. All the high schoolers are in the pizzeria. It's packed. It's crazy. And, my mother gives me the money just for a slice for myself. She said she don't want nothing. She told me buy a soda too. And I'm like, something is going on here. She's even letting me buy soda? Boom, I buy the slice. buy the soda. I'm sitting down and I'm eating. It's pizza. I'm big. I love pizza. I'm eating. And she's like, yeah, so how was school? Having casual conversation. And she was like, did you take that science test? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, how'd you do? I'm like, yeah, I did good. I think I got like an 85. She's like, okay, yeah, let me see it so I can sign it for you right now. And I'm like, oh, no, yeah, this one you don't, this one you don't have to, before I could say sign, my mom's fist went from like Canada through the U.S. up through Brooklyn and uppercutted me. Listen, all the kids who were in that PTA were like, oh, son got duffed by, oh, he got duffed. Oh. I was so shocked. I was so embarrassed. I started to like tear. She was like, listen, don't you ever forge my signature and don't you ever lie to me, okay? I was like, yeah. She said, stop crying and eat the pizza. I was like, I was never not gonna eat the pizza. She almost like smacked the bejesus out of me again, but but that was it, man. From that day on, my lesson learned was trust your spidey senses. And study for your test, man. Study for your test, man. That was I can still feel it sometimes in my life, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, life, baby. Please subscribe, comment, like, and stay in touch so you know about my stage shows coming up. Appreciate you guys. Much love, much blessings.